What's up, everyone? Autismo Dynamite back for another video. Now, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really expecting to be making a video so soon from my most recent video. I don't really like making videos very close to each other, but boxing is a very crazy sport and there is always stuff to talk about every week. And oh boy, tonight I got some insane news which I actually still can't believe is actually true. So we just got the announcement that we are getting, in September 19th of this year, a rematch between the two. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be quiet for my parents. Between the two legends, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. And to be honest, when I heard this news, I kind of didn't really know. Now, to be fair, and I think what I found most interesting about it was when I heard this, I thought, okay, this is probably just an exhibition fight. Like, it's not really going to be like maybe it'll be a 12-rounder, but it'll probably just be like it won't mean anything for them. Like, it won't go on their records. They're still going to be 50-0 and 62-8 and 3 or whatever. Like, nothing's going to happen to their records no matter who wins or loses this fight. No is actually the answer to that. It turns out, no, I actually went on to BoxRec and yes, it's actually a pro fight. Which I honestly actually don't know what to make of that, especially considering this is something that Mayweather has agreed to. Because, like, no disrespect to Floyd Mayweather, I think he's a phenomenal fighter, but if I'm being, like, he just doesn't really seem like the kind of guy to take this kind of risk. Considering stuff I'll be talking about later on. I'll get into more of the nitty-gritty details later on, but with like the activity of Pacquiao and the fact that he's had more like exhibition type fights, it honestly kind of surprises me that he actually decides to take this kind of, like, the last time I could remember him maybe taking a risk. Actually, it just doesn't really seem to be the kind of person who takes risks. Like, now, there's definitely been some times where he has taken some big swings, like, for instance, like, whenever he's had a close fight against the likes of Jose Luis Castillo and Marcos Maidana, where he arguably should have lost those fights. You credit where it's due, he always took the immediate rematch to prove to tell everyone, no, I'm the better fighter, I'm better. I do give respect to that, and yeah, those were definitely some big risks, especially considering how close those fights were. But it still just can't really get over, like, especially considering that Mayweather's 49. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pacquiao's 47 as well, so neither of them are quite like spring chickens anymore. But at 49 years old, will he still be able to I mean, don't get me wrong, Pacquiao's 47, like, he's not exactly going to be close to his prime either, but, like, you look at his most recent fight against Mario Barrios, and I don't get me wrong, ever since with his loss to Garcia on a weekend, I think a lot of people are maybe going to be a little more think less of Barrios, and don't get me wrong, he's not like the greatest of champions, but he's still a 2-division world champion that Manny Pacquiao managed to go the full 12-round distance against, despite being 46 years old and fighting someone 30 years old. And funny enough, actually also wasn't even born when Pacquiao made his professional debut, which I thought was interesting. Whereas Floyd Mayweather, he's really only been like the last time, his last professional fight was all the way back in, I believe, or was it like 2018? I think when he fought Conor McGregor, which I mean, I get you. I mean, someone's probably gonna clip that. There is an argument to be made that like Conor McGregor doesn't really count as a professional boxer. So I think if you're really counting professional boxers, his last real fight I would say was back in 2015 when he fought Andre Berto. And since then, he's really only really had exhibition fights against some safe options, you know, like the likes of like Logan Paul, Deji. Um, I'm pretty sure he did have some sort of fight or exhibition back in like 2024. But problem is though with is that exhibitions are very different to like professional fights. Like with exhibitions, you're not really trying to hurt each other. You're simply just it's simply just intending on going the full distance. It's just gonna not count towards anything, regardless of who wins or who you fought won. But Pacquiao, on the other hand, since 2015, he's he still held strong despite showing his age in a way. Like he got back on his toes and he managed to reclaim a world title at pretty old age. He then got robbed in a horrible decision against Jeff Horn, and then somehow managed to work his way back up to eventually becoming the oldest the oldest person to hold a belt in a welterweight division at 40 years old after a close but decisive decision against Keith Thurman. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell who I actually it's yeah, it just kind of baffles me that Floyd Mayweather of all people actually decided to take this fight. But regardless of that, it's happening. So question is, who do I think is going to win this fight? Simply just based off of most recent events, I'm probably going to go with Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I might be putting too much on his most recent performance against Barrios, but I do generally think that he's shown more capabilities of fighting at an old age than Mayweather. Although I will say this: if Mayweather's actually deciding to take this fight, obviously it's probably because he's seen something in Pacquiao in those fights which he thinks he could exploit. So, and besides, like, don't get me wrong, like with Marcos Maidana, obviously he took a risk with a rematch with the first fight. It was more of a cherry pick, like he chose to fight him over Amir Khan, who, for context, had beaten Maidana before, and also was someone that a lot of people wanted to see fight Mayweather over Maidana. So yeah, he certainly is. He certainly is smart with his matchmaking. So yeah, I honestly don't really know what to think of it. And regardless of how old he gets, he still does actually look pretty. He does still look solid, in a way. But so does Pacquiao. So yeah, I'll probably do another video on it as we get closer to fight night. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about it because honestly, I just took me by massive surprise, and I didn't really know how to feel about it. So, but hopefully, the rematch will be pleasant. I have watched the first fight, and I'll be honest, I do think some people are a bit harsh on that fight. Like, it's not as boring as I think a lot of people make it out to be. On the other hand, also I do think a lot of people who say that Manny Pacquiao should have won are maybe a little bit biased as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I prefer Pacquiao over Mayweather, but like when you actually watch that fight in full, I just don't really see how you could give Pacquiao the fight. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a perfect performance from Mayweather. Like, Pacquiao certainly won rounds, but I don't think you could, and even at his closest, I don't think you could really say that say that Pacquiao did enough. So yeah, but you know what? Maybe it's because of all this that's the reason why Mayweather was choosing to do this. He's wanting to prove that no, I am the better fighter, and I'm going to show you. So yeah, maybe we'll see an even more decisive victory on fight night. But who knows? Let's see if Mayweather can maintain his undefeated streak come fight night. So yeah, that's all I want to have to say, and yeah, hope you guys are doing well, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.